Hi, I'm Jenna,
And I'm Erin.
and welcome to Between Two Filing Cabinets, where we bring you tips, trends, troubles, and stories from HR. And we all know it's not going to come as a surprise to anyone that it is a very challenging market for employers in terms of trying to find great candidates and actually bring them into the organization. So, bad news for employers, but it's a really great market for employees. So, we want to talk a little bit about some of those challenges and opportunities today.
Yeah, we've got some fresh data coming from Career Builder, quite recent, quite fresh, about the second half of 2018 and what to expect. And looks like 63% of US employers are planning to hire full-time permanent workers in the second half of 2018. That's up 3% from last year at 60%, which was
Yeah.
also really high, right?
Yeah.
Um, this one kind of shocked me a bit. 50% of employers reported it's taking longer to fill jobs today compared to any other time in the past.
Yeah, I'm hearing from companies of, even for some entry level positions, it's taking them, 90 days. I mean, goal is like, let's try and find someone in 30 days. But I'm hearing from a lot of employers that that's just not happening. If you have tougher to fill positions, sometimes they're looking at, 4 to 6 months, if not longer, for those really critical positions.
Yeah, absolutely. And so employers are trying to address that, kind of hot competition. And so about 45% of employers in the United States are planning to increase starting salaries.
Mm-hmm.
And not just like you were just saying, not just for more established positions or managerial positions, but entry level ones too. So 71% of HR managers believe they have to pay entry level positions more wages as well. Now that's national. So,
Mm-hmm.
Jenna, here in Oregon, how is the landscape different, maybe from a pay equity standpoint?
Yeah, it is interesting because you do hear a lot about those trends of offering additional perks, signing bonuses, those types of things that all have monetary value. And in Oregon, we have a very strict pay equity law. And so if you're going to have differences in compensation, you really have to be able to justify them for about 7 or 8 reasons that are detailed in our pay equity statute. And so one of those reasons isn't because the market's really junk right now and we have to pay people more. And so it is really interesting to think about how you might navigate that when, potentially you could have someone that's coming in that is new to the organization and possibly even has less experience than someone who's been at the organization. And you're not going to get them unless you pay them, a premium for that. Well, and if you're looking at the pay equity side of things, you better be able to differentiate any, differences in the salary, because of experience, because of, education, because of training, some other type of thing, again, that's specifically delineated in our statute. But so it'll be really interesting to see how employers are going to address that because of the pay equity risk.
Mm.
And our pay equity law, it covers not just gender. So you're looking at race, age, sexual orientation, a whole bunch of different things. And it's not just salaries. It covers other things like other benefits. So bonuses, paid time off, all of those sorts of things. So I think in Oregon, you have some extra challenges that you might not have in other states that don't have these types of laws.
True, and extra opportunities. I mean, it's so interesting. We always talk about this at our LEE, or Leadership Engagement Essentials, how easy it is to just focus on the pay aspect, or the financial and extrinsic rewards part. And, poll after poll tends to find that full appreciation for work done, feeling like you're making a difference, being
Yeah.
seen as a kind of holistic person is generally more important to people, more attractive to people than just pay alone.
Yeah, now, when you talk about all of those things kind of packaged together, now is such a great time to look at those things that are tangible and, to be and maintain your competitiveness. You certainly want to take a look at your compensation structure. Do you have a formal structure? Is it competitive? Do you need to make adjustments, not just one-offs, right?
Mhm.
But do you need to adjust every one? And, also looking at other benefits that you are providing. Is your PTO benefit competitive? Other things that, employees have access to, like gym memberships or,
remote work, that's been very popular.
Remote work, yeah, all those sorts of things. And so now's a really important time for employers to really take that holistic approach to how competitive are they, and are they a desirable workplace?
No, and we have some exciting news on that front, I believe, to kind of help out, right, Jenna?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we recognize, and we're hearing from a lot of members, as I mentioned at the beginning, of what a challenging market this is. I just had a conversation with someone yesterday, and they're like, we've been recruiting, and it's probably for a mid-level management position, and they've been recruiting for about 6 months, and they're just saying, we're not having any luck. Now, part of it is because they have a very traditional approach, and that doesn't work anymore. And so they asked us, like, hey, can you help us, figure out a different approach so that we get a better candidate pool? And so, yeah, that's what we ended up doing. Is we've actually brought in a talent acquisition consultant to really work with our members in this challenging market. So not only will this person, be responsible for helping members with their overall philosophy, strategy, and tactics, this person will also be potentially, able to handle a lot of the on-site recruitments or those one-offs, those really challenging, and really work with members to say, like, what do you need to be doing to make sure that you're a desirable employer? How do you need to change your process to make sure that you have a better candidate pool, more diverse candidate pool as well? So I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity, because it's just a terrible market for employers.
Well, there's a silver lining at least there.
Yeah, and we actually just got new unemployment levels, and nationally it's back down to 3.9%. Oregon's at 4% right now, but that's kind of a negligible difference there. So we know that it is a very challenging market, but now's a great time, I think, for employers to really take a look at that whole process, along the way. So I guess if we're giving some tips for employers, I would say now is the time to think about something even like a recruitment hiring audit, to really take a critical look at your process, what's working, what's not working, how do you want to approach that? I mean, and part of that even starts before you even have a need. What are you doing to build your employer brand, all of those types of things. So consider looking at an audit. I think evaluating your compensation structure, your benefits to make sure they're competitive. And we do work with a lot of members on those things. We use our surveys, but we also do a lot of direct service work in those areas. Training, Erin, when you are bringing in new employees, you want to talk about the importance of that?
Absolutely. Definitely. Yeah. Having a better onboarding kind of system. So a lot of times we just kind of, once we get someone, we're like, great, here you go. And just kind of throw them in without kind of thinking about, well, actually the impact or the experience that employees have during that onboarding process really makes or break whether or not they're going to stick around and still be there in a couple of years.
Right. Yeah. So evaluating, what are you doing to really make sure that they understand and are comfortable with their environment. Whereas I think, right now people are like, I'm just lucky to have someone, and let's just get them to work as quickly as possible. And that's really dangerous, I think. And
understandable, but highly dangerous.
Totally understandable. But I think it's, they might be setting themselves up for heartache down the road a little bit if we don't take the time to really make sure that when we've taken all this time and effort to find someone, and we've got them and they've agreed to work with us, and then if we just kind of, throw it all to the wind once we actually, bring them on site to work, that's hard. So, yeah. So definitely a tough market, but I think we've got a lot of great resources. If that's a particular challenge for you, you can reach out to us, and we'll be happy to help you out. So thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks. So Jenna, what should we file this one under?
Oh, yeah. Let's file this one under
hiring and recruiting.
Hiring and recruiting. That works.
Excellent. Have a great weekend, everyone.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Thanks. Bye.